Picture this. You're driving at night. You've got a firearm. You see blue lights behind you. Your stomach drops. Your hands tense up. Your mind starts racing. What do I do? What do I say? Where are my hands supposed to be? Many gun owners dread that moment. And even if you've watched all the videos and read all the advice and think you're prepared for this encounter, you may still go straight into fight or flight mode and forget all of it because of your emotional state. Today, I want to show you how to prepare for that moment before it happens. How to build a calm automatic response the same way elite athletes rehearse before competition or elite soldiers get ready for battle. It's called pre-performance visualization, and it can completely change how you handle a traffic stop while carrying. Before we get into visualization itself, we need to understand the core problem. A traffic stop is a high stress event for everyone involved. You're stressed, the officer's stressed. So your nervous system is not trying to help you think clearly. It's trying to keep you alive. When those lights come on, your autonomic nervous system, which controls involuntary functions like heart rate and breathing, kicks in, giving priority to alertness and instinct over deliberate thinking. That's your fight or flight system. When this system is activated, the amygdala, your brain's emotional alarm center, fires much faster than the logical part of your brain, the frontal lobe. That's great if you need to jump away from a snake without wasting time thinking about it. It's terrible when you're sitting in a car with a loaded firearm and a stressed out police officer walks up to your window. Under stress, if you haven't really made your response second nature, you don't default to the good advice you saw on YouTube. You default to whatever your body feels will help you survive. That might be saying something dumb or emotional, making a sudden movement, reaching down where nobody can see your hands. You may have experienced this in other areas of your life. You write a speech for school or work, you practice it a few times, and then when it's time to speak in front of the group, your mind blanks. You forget lines, you improvise, you even say things you didn't plan to say. That's what happens at the side of the road. Only now there's a law enforcement officer and firearms in the equation. So information alone is not enough. We don't just need knowledge, we need a trained automatic response that survives stress. That's where visualization comes in. Visualization is not mystical. Top-level athletes and professionals have used this for decades. Think of elite swimmers, gymnasts, fighter pilots, special operators. They don't just rehearse physically, they actually rehearse mentally. They rehearse the environment, they rehearse the pressure, they rehearse the exact sequence of actions, they rehearse how they want to feel in that moment. Why does it work? Because when you vividly imagine a scenario, your brain responds as if it's actually happening. Studies show that your mind doesn't draw a hard line between real and vividly imagined. The same networks fire. You build many of the same neural pathways you would have built from a real physical experience. So when the real moment comes, your brain says, I've been here before. I know what to do. That's what we want for a traffic stop while armed. A prepackaged, calm, safe response that feels familiar to your nervous system. Now, let's put this into a concrete 4-step visualization protocol you can practice under 5 minutes. You can do this sitting in your parked car, engine off, phone silent, or while you're lying in bed at night. The point is doing it without distraction. I recommend doing it once a week. Think of it as mental reps at the range. Step number 1, feel the stress on purpose. Close your eyes and picture the moment. You're driving, you see the blue lights in the mirror. Maybe you hear the siren, you feel that drop in your stomach. Here's the important part. Don't push those feelings away. Let yourself feel the anxiety, the adrenaline, the worry about what's going to happen. Most people try to fight those feelings. In this exercise, you do the opposite. You allow them. You sit in that emotional frame for a few seconds. You observe yourself feeling nervous. You don't judge it. You don't judge yourself for feeling nervous. You don't try to man up or pretend it isn't there. That feeling isn't there. You simply accept it and watch it. If you stay with it, you'll notice something interesting. The intensity starts to drop. By accepting the emotion instead of fighting it, you give your nervous system a chance to process it. You're teaching your body, yes, this is stressful, and we can still stay calm and in control. Step number 2, see yourself safely orchestrating the interaction. Here's what I mean. In your mind, move forward in the scene. The officer is behind you. You're pulling over. In your visualization, do it exactly the way you want to do it in real life. So you signal and pull over safely. You put the car in park and turn the engine off. If it's dark, you turn on the interior light. You turn off the radio and any other distractions. You roll down the window, and then you calmly place both hands on the steering wheel, high enough that the officer can easily see them. You're not fidgeting. You're not reaching for your wallet. You're not digging into the glove box because you know he'll ask for your registration anyways. You may know where your license and registration are, but in this visualization and in real life, you do not reach for it yet. You just sit there, hands on the wheel, body still, breathing slowly. You are orderly. You are predictable. You are sending one clear message. I'm not a threat. Step number 3, verbal disclosure using frontal lobe triggering language. Now, visualize the officer walking up to the window. If any anxious feelings pop back up in your mind, do exactly what you did earlier. Just notice them. Allow them. Don't resist them. Let them move through you. Then imagine the officer saying, "Good evening. License and registration, please." If you choose to disclose that you are armed, and remember, laws vary by state, always know your local law, this is the kind of calm, technical language you'll use. "Officer, I would like to inform you that I'm lawfully licensed to carry a firearm, and I do have it on me. It is located," you state the location. "How would you like me to proceed?" Or in a constitutional carry situation, "Officer, I would like to inform you that I am exercising my legal right to carry a firearm, and I have it on me. It is located," you state the location. "What would you like me to do next?" Notice that you're not saying, "I've got a gun," or "I'm armed." Phrases like this and terms like gun or armed, standing alone, have emotional charge and cultural baggage that speak to the part of an officer's brain you don't want to trigger. They speak to the amygdala, the fear center, not the logical, reasonable part of the brain. You want to speak from your frontal lobe to the officer's frontal lobe. Calm, precise, legal language, no drama, no slang, and through visualization, you're practicing not only the words, but the tone also. Slow, respectful, steady. Step number 4, the movement protocol and removing the firearm. This is the part that can really be life or death. In your visualization, imagine the officer responding, "Okay, where's the firearm?" You calmly reply, "It's on my right hip in a holster," or "It's in the glove compartment," or wherever it is for you. Sometimes an officer might say, "Take it out and hand it to me." In your visualization practice, your pre-planned response, your hands stay glued to the steering wheel. Your voice stays calm and respectful. "Officer, with respect, I would prefer that you remove the firearm yourself while I keep my hands here on the wheel. I don't want any movement on my part to be misunderstood by anyone." Why do you do this? Because in many traffic stops, there may be more than one officer. A cover officer on the passenger side, a trainee with a field training officer, someone back of the patrol car. You can hear this officer that's speaking to you next to your window, and that officer can hear you, but the officer on the other side with the traffic noise, a closed window, a bad angle, may not hear any of it. All he sees is a driver suddenly dropping their hands out of sight and reaching towards their waistband or the glove box. That is a massive trigger for a trained officer's brain. In a split second, that unseen officer might reasonably believe you're drawing on his partner. That's a scenario none of us want. So in your visualization, you always keep your hands visible, move only when instructed, ask that the officer remove the firearm. You say, "The firearm is on my location. I'll keep my hands right here while you secure it." No sudden movements, no reaching down, no twisting around in your seat. Slow, predictable, visible. Once the firearm is secured, then you follow instructions to retrieve your license and registration. Again, slowly and narrating. "My wallet is in my back right pocket. If it's okay with you, I'll reach back slowly with my right hand to get it." You narrate your actions so nothing comes as a surprise. You de-escalate with every word and every movement. Now, let's put all of this together. Visualize the entire sequence: the blue lights, the surge of emotion, you accepting the emotions you feel and calming down, the safe pullover, engine being turned off, lights on, window down, hands visible, the calm disclosure language, the steady refusal to reach for the firearm, the officer removing it while you remain still, you narrating your movements for your documents, you staying calm even if the officer is tense or rude. You can even visualize the officer being impatient or having a bad day, because then if you encounter that in real life, your brain already has a prepackaged, practiced automatic response where you stay calm, your hands are visible, you use slow movements, legal technical language, and you're not letting your amygdala run the show. You're letting your training, your mental training run the show. So in closing, this is the highest level of responsible carry, not just owning the gun, not just knowing the laws, but training your mind and body for the moment that actually matters. Don't rely on, I watched a video once. Give yourself repetition. Once a week, 5 minutes, sit in your parked car and run through this visualization. Feel the stress, accept it, calm it down. Walk through the safe traffic stop setup. Practice the exact words you'll use. Practice keeping your hands visible and letting the officer handle the firearm. You're building a default setting under stress: orderly, calm, safe. Thanks for watching. My name is Tomil Rodriguez. I am a Florida board certified criminal trial lawyer. If this was helpful, please do 3 things: hit like, subscribe, and in the comments tell me about a time you were stopped in traffic and whether you felt any fear, any anxiety or nervousness during the stop, and what you would do differently if you had to go through it all over again. Remember, train your mind, stay informed, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.